love the idea of owning a classic car. What could be better than slipping behind the wheel of something charismatic and built before regulations got in the way of a sexy curve and a raughty exhaust, especially broken down by the side of the road. But it's now possible to have your classic car cake and eat it, because there's a growing band of Restomod companies, particularly in the States, that completely re-engineer old cars to make them as quick, comfortable and reliable as modern-day machines. And here in the UK, we've got some pretty special Restomod builders too. We've got together some of the best examples, and we're going to start with the unassuming British legend that is the Morris Minor Traveller. The Traveller first came out in 1952 and was immediately popular. A youthful Mr. Nadell even drove one, borrowing the keys to his mum's Moggy when allowed. For the majority of its 20-year production period, the Traveller sported a 1-litre engine. But this version, by JLH, has something a bit bigger. The original performance on offer would struggle to keep up with today's traffic. The engine had 37 brake horsepower, and 0 to 60 came in 25 seconds. Now with a 2-litre engine, it's gone from being a has-been to a sort of hot hatch, with punchy performance that will provide endless entertainment. To cope with the additional power, the original brakes have been upgraded with modern Ford units, while the ancient leaf spring suspension has been ditched in favour of a custom coil spring setup. Meanwhile, the chassis has been strengthened. Without this, the Traveller would literally rip itself apart. And it's lovely to know that you've got the reliability there, so every 3,000 miles you're not having to pull into a garage and have the points checked and the carburettor retweaked. So how much does all this cost? Well, around £20,000. For those who want to make a grander entrance, we have the Jensen Interceptor. First launched in 1966, the Interceptor had an impressive specification for its day. But clearly that wasn't enough for Jensen Automotive International, because their model boasts a supercharged V8 producing 556 bhp. The thing that dominates here is the engine. It's a 6.2 litre. There's no replacement for displacement, and it comes from General Motors. It packs a mighty punch. 0 to 60 happens in 3.8 seconds, and it'll go on to 174. Yeehaw! To keep the car on the road, the old live axle rear suspension has been replaced by a Jaguar-sourced independent system. And to ensure you can see out when you're hunting down a Ferrari, a heavier single wiper has been installed, because the twin system used to lift off the screen at speeds above 50 miles an hour. The interior has totally changed. It's fully modern now, and you've got hand-stitched leather and beautifully machined aluminium switches. And it is a terrific place in which to spend many, many miles. This ultimate British GT will set you back £180,000. But for many classic car enthusiasts, less is more. 2 doors, no roof and lightweight. So how about a true Italian thoroughbred, the Alfa Spider? The Spider first broke cover in 1966 and continued to be produced virtually unaltered for another 27 years. It started out with a 1570cc engine producing 109 horsepower, but under the bonnet of this Alfaholics version is a 3-litre V6 with 225 bhp. This may be a very pretty little sports car, but the dream of ownership is often marred by the word rust. It's not exactly the last word in reliability either, but that does make this Alfa the perfect car for a Restomod. Under the bonnet, that V6 engine is pretty punchy. 0 to 60 miles an hour comes up in a sprightly 6 seconds. But what you do get is that lovely V6 burble that just makes you want to put your foot down. As well as revised suspension and brakes, the front headlights have been replaced with modern xenon lamps. Plus, there's a bespoke power steering system which only provides assistance at speeds below 15 miles an hour. Above that, you're left to enjoy proper back-to-basics steering feel. It's the best of both worlds. You've got the old-fashioned traditional car, but you've also got the modern drivability about it and the reliability that you can turn the key and go. The price for such exclusivity, well, they start at 60 grand. This particular one is £110,000. Restomods aren't for everyone, and many purists will be horrified that original cars have had the guts ripped out of them in the name of progress. But for those that want to drive an evocative machine, rain or shine, one of these could be for you.